So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be given the information such as an equation, a slope, and an ordered pair. And with that information, we're going to create the graph of the line. Okay? So if I were to give you this first order or equation, I'm going to write the equation here so you can see it. If I gave the equation y equals 2x minus 8, what kind of information could you pull out of that equation? The slope? What is the slope? But what is the slope in this equation? 2, because y equals mx plus b. So my slope is 2. What else do I know from this equation? My y-intercept is -8. So when you're given an equation, the first thing you want to do is we have to have a point to start with. So we're going to use the y-intercept. So I want everybody to graph the y-intercept. Mine's down here in pink. Your y-intercept would be at 0, -8. And then we already said that the slope was equal to 2, right? But when we're dealing with graphs, how do we find slope on a graph? What strategy do we use? Rise over run. So I need to have a rise over run. Well, if I know my whole number is 2, how can I turn that 2 into a fraction? 2 over 1. Any whole number can be written over 1. So now I have a rise of 2 and a run of 1. Okay? Remember, rise talks about my vertical movement, up or down. Run is my horizontal movement, left or right. So now I'm going to start at this y-intercept. My rise is a positive 2. So am I going to go up 2 or down 2? Up 2, so I'm just going to kind of count up 1, 2. My run is a positive 1. So am I going to go left 1 or right 1? I'm going to go right 1. So here's going to be my second point. So everybody go up 2 over 1, plot your second point. Can I do that again to make a third point? Absolutely. Up 2 over 1. Could I keep doing that for a whole bunch of points? I could, but I don't need to. Once I have my 3 points, I can take my straight edge. I can line up all 3 of those points. And I could connect them. There's the line for that equation. So everybody should have a line for that equation. Now, I'm going to tell you technically it only takes 2 points to create a line. However, I'm going to tell you and highly suggest that it's very wise to plot 3 points if you have the room. Just to make sure if you have 3 points in a line, that's a better accuracy that you've done it correctly. Okay? Some graphs you may run out of room. 2 points is okay. 3 is better. All right, let's do another one. Let me change my color here. I'm going to change my color to blue. All right. So my new equation, y equals -5/3 x plus 4. I need to plot a point on my graph, so what am I going to use to plot a point? The y-intercept. What's the y-intercept of this equation? 4, all right? So let's plot that, 0, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my y-intercept in blue. And now my slope, we said, was a -5/3. But remember, in order for the slope to be negative, If I were to say negative 5 over negative 3, is that the same thing as negative 5/3? No, because remember, two negatives make a positive. So I can only have one negative symbol. I'm just going to erase the denominator and put it in the numerator. Yes, I can only have one negative. I can either put it in the numerator and leave the denominator positive, or I can leave the numerator positive, make the denominator negative. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to see it, most people put it in the numerator. It just makes it easier. Negative 5/3. Okay? So, because I have my y-intercept at positive 4, I now need to use my negative 5 as my rise and my positive 3 as my run. Remember, I don't want to make both of them negative because that really makes a positive slope. If I know that my slope is negative, which way should my line point? My line should be pointing down when I'm done. All right, so let's start at our y-intercept. My rise is negative 5. So am I going to go up 5 or down 5? Down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My run is a positive 3. So am I going to go to the right 3 or left 3? 1, 2, 3. There's my second point. Can you do that again and make a third point, please? You don't have to draw the little loops as you're counting. I'm doing it so you guys can see it from my computer. So once you have 3 points, connect your dots to make a line. Is your line pointing downward like a negative slope tells you to? Yes, it is. So now you know if you have an equation, you know how to create the graph that represents that equation. Okay? All right, let's move on to another type of example. This time, instead of giving you the equation, I'm going to give you the point negative 5, positive 5. And I'm going to tell you that the slope is negative 2/5. Negative 2/5. Now, do I have a y-intercept here? No. But I have a point, don't I? All I need is a point. It doesn't matter if it's at a y-intercept or anywhere else on the graph. So let's plot the point negative 5, 5. So everybody plot that point. You plot that point, it should be in quadrant 2. All right, now we're going to use our slope just like we did when we used the y-intercept, except we're just going to use this random point that they gave us. So now since my slope is a negative 2/5, 2 over 5, if I'm starting at my point, am I going to go up or down 2? Go down 2, because we put the negative there. And then my run, remember this is rise over run. My run now is positive 5. So am I going to go left or right 5? I'm going to go right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, coincidence, we got a y-intercept. You won't always get a y-intercept. This time we got lucky. Could you do that again to find your third point? Please do so now. Once you have your 3 points, use your straight edge to draw the line that passes through these 3 points. Yeah, we have a bunch of lines. We're just doing some practice. Does your line match my red line up here? Okay. One more example. I want you to try this one on your own. Your ordered pair is 2, 3. Your slope is a positive 2. Your slope is a positive 2. You see if you can plot the points and graph your line using the ordered pair and slope that's in orange. When you are done, you can look up here and see if your line matches my line in orange in quadrant 1. How did we do on this? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs sideways, thumbs down. How did we do? Gentlemen, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways. Okay, okay. All right. So in these examples, we've taken an equation. We've used the y-intercept and the slope to graph a line. We've also taken just random points, random ordered pairs, and the slope to graph a line. Are there any questions about what we've done so far? All right. That concludes our notes. Please make sure this is in a safe place.